Hello, everyone, and welcome to Carvis Twig's Bird of the Day. We're going to do a nice, quiet, gentle little bird of the day today, because we've got a really wonderful little bird. He's kind of a shy little bird, and we don't want to scare him away. No, we don't want to scare away this little bird. This is a nice, calm stream today, so we're going to have a nice, calm bird of the day. So who's our bird of the day? Well, it's a nice little cutie that goes by the name of the spotted towhee. Look at that little bird. Kind of menacing looking though. I mean, yeah, look at those piercing red eyes. That black feather badge with a pretty bright burnt sienna chest. Kind of robin looking almost. It's almost like you could call these guys dark robins. You know, if they were like in some sort of fantasy world, they'd be the evil version of the robins. But they're not evil. Not far from it. Let me tell you a little more about the spotted towhee. Pretty cool little birds, if you ask me. So, their size? Well, okay, this particular spotted towhee is having himself a day, apparently. He's just had a little bit too much going on in his life, and he just can't stand it. I don't think I can get my mouth open that way. Oh, no, I certainly cannot. So, only 6.7 to 8.3 inches long, so they're not actually that big. Actually, a lot smaller than a robin, closer to the size of a European robin. And if you actually look down below, they are passiform, but they are in the Passerellidae family, which is, I mean, you could almost say that's like the most passiform of all the passiform families. Small little perching bird, but that puts him in the same family as sparrows. So yeah, the towhee is a type of sparrow. Interesting, but definitely much brighter, more vibrant colorations than most of your normal sparrows. Pretty cute, but pretty stunning. Pretty bold colors. Like it a lot. They have about an average 11-inch wingspan and real light, only 1.2 to 1.7 ounces. Actually, you know, they're a little bit bigger than like your house sparrows and your song sparrows and stuff like that, but still pretty small. But they do have a remarkably good lifespan. Usually live up to about, well, their average lifespan is closer to about, 5 or 6 years, but the oldest banded one ever recorded lived up to 11 years. It was hard to find real information, or at least consistent information on their average lifespan. But for a small passiform, up to 11 years is pretty good. But you can imagine that most of them are probably going to meet their demise when they're real young. And as you can see there, they are a North American bird hanging out mostly on the western side of North America. The Orange Range is where you will find them breeding in summertime. That's their breeding zone. The dark blue is where the darker blue colors where you're only going to find them in the wintertime. The purple area is their year-round range, so you can find them there any time of the year. And that light blue region is where you will find them in spring and fall as they are just passing through. That's their migratory range. So yeah, if you're over there on the west coast, if you're in that, looks like the only state where they're, in pretty much the whole state year round is going to be Oregon. Well, also it looks like most of Nevada as well. Although I imagine there's huge swaths of Nevada where you're not going to see too many of these fellas. It's a little dry, although they can do okay out in the desert because they are bug eaters. Let me tell you a little bit more about them. I was just saying that Oregon's the only one of the only states where you can find them pretty much year-round in their whole area. Well, they are sometimes referred to as the Oregon towhee. So it's kind of neat, although they are unfortunately not the state bird of Oregon. And you think Oregon's maybe missing out. It's still a pretty good one. But these fellas, not a very social bird. They are mostly solitary. Year round, when they migrate, they don't migrate in flocks in their wintering ranges. Well, since they migrate, they don't need to flock up as much in the wintertime, although they will form small flocks in the wintertime while migrating, but for the most part, they're going to be kind of on their own. The only times you're really going to see multiple of them is seeing a male and a female hanging out together as they're trying to raise the next generation. And yeah, when they do that, they're very much a song and color kind of display. So the males will sing their little song to get the females, and he'll flop up his feathers and be like, "Hey, look how bright my feathers are. You see the wonderful contrast of the orange and black, ain't I pretty?" And if she thinks it's pretty enough, she'll be like, "Okay, you can father my children." And then they will pair up just for a season, just for one season. After that, she'll find a new mate next year. But the male will stick around and guard the nest. The females build the nests. The males just kind of hang around and guard. And then they have, 2 to 6 eggs per brood. Although 2 or 6 is actually pretty rare for a clutch. You're going to see 3 to 5, far more often. And then they'll usually do 1 or 2 clutches per year. And very rare occasions will you see 3. And so, that means that usually you're about, each pair's going to make about 10 babies a year. 8 to 10. Yeah, it seems about right. Not too bad. Not too bad. Their nests are built on the ground. They kind of build them in, on the kind of near the roots, inner areas of shrubs and other little bits of growth like that. So you're not putting them much out in the open, but they're very much ground birds. They build their nests on the ground. They eat on the ground and forage. So it's like, it's good, kind of funny I say that. Here's a picture of one up in a tree. Yeah, they'll go up in trees to look around and stuff and to scout and keep an eye on things. But, they nest and they feed on the ground. They like ants. Oh, they're very much looking for the ants. Or, little worms and grubs and stuff like that. You'll find also the tasty snacks on the ground. Find their tasty snacks on the ground. And, then, what they're going to do, then, sometimes, gets a little cold. What they do is they've got a behavior where they'll lay flat on the ground, spread their wings out, and flip up their feathers and just bask in the sunlight. It's nice. That seems nice and comfy and cozy. And then, a little bit more about their mating rituals. When they're doing it, 2 males may be fighting over a lady, and they'll kind of go at each other, swoop at each other, and when one is the clear victor, the loser will pick up a twig or a leaf to be like, "Okay, I'm waving this small green flag instead of the white flag." It's kind of an interesting little behavior. It's just like, "Okay, you win. I will pick up the stick. I'll pick up the stick to signify that you win." I mean, if I was smart, I'd pick up a stick and be like, "Ha, I win," and then I'd rush up and I'll beat him with the stick. I'm carrying a stick. Doesn't mean I'm surrendering. It's not the way I do. Not the way I do it all. No. Now, here's an interesting thing. Cowbirds. We've got the brown-headed cowbird and the sapphire cowbird. Or not the sapphire, the bronze cowbird. I think sapphire. Shiny things. But yeah, the brown-headed and the bronze cowbirds will very frequently lay their eggs in their nests. Well, jerks. Raise your own babies. But it's also been found that California quails will sometimes lay their eggs in the nest. So sometimes they're raising quail babies, which could be a real problem because quail babies are quite a bit bigger, require a bit more food. So I can actually starve out the poor little Towhee babies. Come on, folks. Raise your own babies. Be like crows. If you need some help, crows help each other out. It's good times. So come on, folks. Raise your own babies. It's fun like that's on the spotted Towhee. I think they're pretty cute. And they're pretty cool looking. I really like their colors. I'm almost regretting doing these now. I must just save this guy for October, because they got kind of Halloween colors, don't they? Got the orange and black, and I like that light little fluff on the chest. And it's pretty neat looking. And that red eye, oh, spooky. So yeah, I like them. I think they do a pretty good job. What more can you really say about a cute little passiform bird? I think they're cute. I think they're neat. I wish they were a little more social. Lose a couple points for being so solitary. It's like, come on, learn the benefits of friendship. Learn the benefits of community. But a pretty bird doesn't seem to be too much of a threat to anyone except for little bugs. So I really don't have too much negative to say about them. A good bird, pretty bird. And if you live yourself on the western side of North America, keep a lookout for them. And you'll be able to say, hey, I know that bird. That's a spotted towhee. Yeah, cool little bird. So yeah, kind of a shorter bird of the day today. Didn't really have too much to say, but you know what? They're good little birds. And I hope you enjoyed the little presentation. And we're going to call this bird of the day done.